Hello. Well, anyway, welcome to another art video. And for this one, it's actually a revisit to my first composition practice drawing. Painting. I don't know. Anyway, so I finally got around to doing another composition practice for like approximately 2 years later. Finally. Anyway, so I think from what I remember from last time, it was about Notan studies. So Notan studies is pretty much just a basic breakdown of a scene, pretty much into the just simple shapes and or values. You could do it from black or white, or 3 values from white, mid-tone black, or even more than that. The idea is to pretty much break everything down into simple shapes. And hopefully by doing that you can create very even though it like the breakdown is very simple, you can create really beautiful complex scenes with that as well. Anyway, as usual, I'm doing a warm-up in line of action with figures that are approximately a minute long each, and you can do this as well before you draw or you paint. You could also do like warm-up sketches of landscapes, like approximately maybe 1 or 2 minutes long, and it's pretty much the same thing. You're just trying to warm yourself up before, something, before you paint or you draw. Anyway, for this composition drawing video, the idea is shapes. Well, it's kind of like let's say a sequel. It continues on from Notan studies. The basic idea is to break everything down into simple shapes of color and or value, and also saturation and goes on. Anyway, like that. That's pretty much the idea. And all the images here that I'm going to paint out are from the game Sky Children of the Light. And as you may know from this channel, I play a lot of it. It's a mobile game, and yeah, I played a lot of that stuff. And the world is quite a colorful world, like lots of areas with cool shape language and colors. So yeah, that's why I did this. So what I pretty much did is just went into a biome, any place in the world of Sky, and just took screenshots. I tried my best to get like a really good composition for each shot, but I'm not really a photographer. But anyway, that's what I did. Took a screenshot, and then I uploaded it here to Clip Studio Paint for me to paint it. And as you can see, it didn't really take much for this first painting to do. I pretty much just did simple shapes, a simple selection, and painted with it. And you can make an illustration like under 20-30 minutes. It's that quick. And I know the I guess the color temperature here for the actual image isn't right, but I think that's not exactly the point. The point is actually to be able to break the composition down into simpler shapes in order to like really paint it fast. Of course, accuracy is important, but for this case, since it is a practice study, you can fumble a bit. You can fumble a bit. It's not going to be a masterpiece by any means. Also, for this second painting now, I was just experimenting with the Clip Studio Paint's other brushes, because I was mostly using the round mixing brush. So I was trying out some other brushes, like the watercolor brushes, and it really, the watercolor brushes really build up onto each other and stuff. And the same thing I'm doing here, other than the previous painting, just breaking everything down to simple shapes and or values and or color. Also, like I think it's also good to use um, the selection tool in order to like really quickly select a shape and then paint with it. Because for me, I think for a long time I've avoided using the selection tool. I guess it doesn't feel initially. It doesn't feel so natural to like really use in a painting process, but now I realize how really powerful it is in order to really get to like to really get a shape and really paint with it. So yeah, it's really quick. Like you don't have to be too fiddly with it. You just have to be I guess get the general shape overall. And yeah, it's actually quite powerful if you want to make minor adjustments as well. So yeah. Also, good good thing to point out here. For the reference images, each of them are like from different events within the game of Sky. I forgot the first one. It was a main story. The second one is like a something event, seasonal event. The other one is another part of the main story. Like anyway, it's one of those things. Each of them are from different events within the game. That's what I'm going to say. Also, I forgot to point out that I've sped up like the footage here, like 8 times faster than usual. So you guys can see the process carefully without watching the whole 3 hour painting process. So yeah, I think it's really nice in order to like to have a sped up process of your painting process, and but also it's slow enough for people to understand how you did it. And yeah, and also like it's also like as I'm watching this again, it's very important for me to like point out like it's a very important for me to see what my thought process was in each step in making a painting, just so I can go, oh, this is what I was thinking. Maybe that's something I need to change later or whatever. It's also good to note here in the third painting that that even though I was trying to break everything down into like simple abstract shapes, there came a point where I was just getting too fiddly with the details. And I mean that because like this particular study took, let's say, 2 hours at most in order to do, and that's not what you want to do in a study. What you want to do in a study is like a quick breakdown of a painting, whether by composition, color, shapes, perspectives, rhythms, symmetry, all that kind of stuff. But here, I guess from watching it again, I wasn't able to establish the major shapes and the secondary, and then in turn the secondary shapes within a painting. So um, I was just constantly trying to adjust, trying to change, trying to fix each part of the painting. If I were to do this again, I would probably, yeah, go back and take notes of all the major shapes of value, color, and maybe saturation as well. Yeah, because like if you get the general shapes general shapes of value in color within a composition, the rest is kind of like mini adjustments. Mini adjustments, like, you know, you can push it and pull it and it still look good. Sorry, you can push and pull the values however you want, but the painting will still hold true to, you know, the original reference. I guess for this particular one, there's a major shape for the shadows, and also a major shape for the lights. So if you squint really hard, it's really actually quite easy to break everything down to into that way, into those kinds of values. Afterwards, you can just really do some minor adjustments. But I didn't do that. I was I was um basically I didn't break everything down into those kinds of stuff here. I was too engrossed into the details, which is my mistake. I should not have done that. I should not have been absorbed in details. Which is, and this is actually like quite important to me as a learning artist, in order to make my make my life easier, I guess, and also to hopefully make me work more efficiently and faster. Because otherwise, you know, I'll spend 3 hours on a particular painting, a particular part of the painting that probably should have not have taken more than 20 minutes. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep that in mind for now. And as you can see, which I said before, that like these are just abstract shapes. These are just shapes that represent clouds, ground, the sky, light, and all that stuff. They're not actually meant to be them. They're just meant to represent them, which is kind of something I learned recently. You're not here to paint the details. You're not here to paint every nook and cranny of of a landscape and or a portrait. You're just there to suggest them, to make it feel believable, to make it feel that it represents something. For example, here, I wasn't really painting flowers. I was just painting blobs of color that represent flowers, which is kind of nice. And that's what I also want to, you know, bash into my head into my thick skull that I shouldn't paint the details. I'm just here to paint things that represent things. Anyway, for the third painting, I think I learned my lesson from the. Sorry, not, is it 1, 2, 3? Oh, sorry. On the fourth painting, I kind of learned my lesson from the third painting. So here, I'm just making quick selections, painting in the values, the general values within the image, and just I guess layer caking, making overlaps, making slight temperature changes, and also just like basically building the image very basically, without too much fuss, without fiddling too much. And I noticed how much faster I was in really doing the painting itself and painting the reference, which is actually quite, it's actually quite fantastic to know and to discover. And that this particular painting actually may have been the quickest one. It probably took 15 minutes to do. So yeah, work smart and quick, not hard. Which is something I need to, really practice. And now I'm just really, enamored by the use of the selection tool, because it really allows you to make quick selections and quick strokes and paint quickly. And also, as I said before, here when it comes to making selections, I'm not making selections that are too complicated. I'm just selecting shapes like triangles, circles, rectangles, and stuff that happens to represent things within the reference image. They don't have to be exact, but they just have to capture what they represent. Anyway, I think that's it for this video. I learned a lot about breaking things down into basic shapes of value, color, and or saturation. Yeah, I guess from now on I'm gonna try to really improve on that, to just think of everything, just break everything down into simpler shapes in order for me to really get it. And also I'm going to use the selection tool a lot. like it's so easy and quick to do, to paint with it, and it's quite fun. You can be quite abstract and also quite fiddly with it as well. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys learned something from this composition practice drawing. Anyway, leave a like, subscribe, do whatever, and practice painting. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.